Into focus. Here we have a W131HT machine. It's solid in the floor, no isolation, and the isolation we have is the ropes. They're sprung at both ends. These were 3 VIP260s. They've been modded, as you can tell, with the encoder stuck on the end there, to our local controllers, which are pretty much, well, it's got the same magnetic drive in it, USD412. These about 20 years ago. All that, and to keep them going, VIP260s take a fair bit of work. This one's got the dispatch control on it, optic connectors to everything else. Wire inputs. Some of the wiring is still the original wiring, which was just sort of floating interfaced. This one is, look at this machine here. The note, it's mounted the opposite way to the other two. It's because these two have a rear counterweight. So down through, under the car, back up over the machine to the counterweight. Whereas this one is a through car, only at one level at the ground floor. So it therefore has a side counterweight, so a side sheave on the car. And then there's the rope hitch for the counterweight there. These controllers all fell over in the earthquake 10 years ago now. So they've had extra reinforcement to hold it together. Worked out there, if you look at the angle of the chokes and auto transformers, that they weren't actually bolted down. And the top of these buildings can get a good wag on and a good shake. You used to. The fan's pretty noisy in the DSD412s, but the generators were a lot noisier than that. Quite good motors. They'll run forever, but an AC one is obviously much cheaper. So the brake switches are even used anymore. Cut the collar. This is what we've got here. Here. Unplug the security. Check the coolant. LED contacts down there. There we go. Standard clicky Otis governor. Most of it's been painted in. This one might be readable. Maybe. What focus? You need 600 foot per minute. So yeah, 3. There were VIP260s, very busy building, had a bank in it at one stage. Now it's just accommodation, so everything's a whole lot slower. Lucky little controller, pretty reliable. Here's our encoder count out in hex. 800 is the bottom floor because it can't count negatives. Bit of capacitor dampening, and that'll be the motor field resistors up there. Not much more to say about that. The field and brake power supply is inside the DSD412 on these, which is pretty cool. As you know, I stand correct on that. The field's in there. We've got what we call a fast brake down there, which throws 400 volts on the brake coil for about 2 seconds. Brake then lifts and it drops back to about 50 volts. And it's totally solid state. It's pretty cool. Somebody's just swiped the card. See the security relays all flicking on and off. DC machine. Lots of rope guarding on it. Keep your fingers out. Problem with that is it stops people giving it a good inspection. Not too bad. Yes. Spray some light at it. These are actually a traction sheath with a V-groove on them, so when we get guarding made these days, we get windows put in it so you can see the depth of the V's. Drum brake, as you can see in there. A bit of rust on that one as well, can't be getting used enough. This one is, there might be the dust holding it together. Pretty good machines and all. The brake's about to drop out. It comes to a nice dynamic stop. Reasonably busy building still. There's something coming away. They screw down the... no, of course not. The trick with these is the cover is actually the rope keeper. Nice shiny governor rope at least. So the cover should be bolted down in order to prevent the ropes jumping off. Not that I've seen one jump off, but in theory it could. And it would be a little bit ugly if it did. Ropes are all fairly even here. When you get one that's a bit nasty or a bit tired, you start to see the spring popping up and down as the lift moves, which is never a good look. Definitely some noise coming out of that. Tired bearings, by the sounds of it. Or tired bushes on the weights flopping over as it tips up because it's fairly slow. That's that.